Jessica is here, and she's going to give a talk to us on the love of God. So we welcome Jessica.
Good morning. Oh, good morning.
Good morning.
Are y'all having fun?
Yeah. Buenos dias.
Buenos dias. There you go. Buenos dias and good morning to everybody. Are you enjoying your retreat? Like Father said, my name is Jessica Flores. I come to the afternoon Mass in Spanish at 3 o'clock, and I also interpret for Father during that time. I hope I don't embarrass him, but I'm Nathan's mother, right there. He's going to be having his confirmation this year, and I was asked to come here and talk to you about the love of God. This is really interesting because Father just asked me, and I'm okay talking in Spanish, but when it comes to English, it's not my first language, so I get a little nervous, but you know, you hang up with me, okay? I came here, let me see, it's going to be 22 years now, so I came here when I was 2. Do you believe that? No, I came here when I was 19, and I've been here several years, and I came from the Dominican Republic. So I'm half Dominican. My dad was actually from here. So I consider myself a half-town Dominican girl and half-country girl with an accent. That's who I am. And before I start telling you a little more about me, I would like to share with you a psalm that I believe has followed me my entire life. And I didn't realize it until later. Probably a lot of you heard about it because it's I consider a very popular psalm, but it's Psalm 23. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in path of righteousness for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Like I said, I was born and raised in the Dominican Republic. I grew up in Catholic schools, my elementary years and high school. This psalm we will recite it every single day for like 17 years. And I got to memorize it, but I really didn't understand the meaning until later. But I do know this one completely in Spanish. So like I said, I knew a lot of information about God. I knew about the Bible. I knew about the sacraments. I knew about the commandments. I learned a lot about information about the Catholic Church. But I really feel like until later is when I realized that I started knowing about God. Father knows I cry for everything. So it's not just you, Father.
We're humans with emotion, don't worry. We're not, God didn't make us computers.
Like I said, I came here when I was 19 years old. I had a scholarship to one of the best colleges in the Dominican Republic. And my dad decided, we go into the United States. I was not happy. I didn't want to come here. I was really frustrated. I was really upset because I felt like I had a really good opportunity to make it in the Dominican Republic. But you know, Daddy is in charge, and I wanted to be with my family. So I came here to the United States. And when I came here, it was very hard. I spoke some English, but I wasn't able to speak as much as I do now. I wanted to go to college, and things were really hard to go to college here. My dad thought it was going to be real easy, but it wasn't easy to go to school. So I wasn't sure what was going on, but I remember asking God, like, why do you want me here? I really don't want to be here. I want to go back to Dominican. I don't like this place. Oh, and by the way, I used to think, people always talk about the United States, and I wanted to come here to visit, not to stay. because I used to live in front of the ocean. But there were times that I would get tired of the ocean. And he will tell me, Jessica, people pay millions of dollars to live where you live. And I'll be, that's a lie. I hear people want to go to the United States. So when I came here, July 29th, 1999, I got here at night. I woke up the next day, and my daddy's saying, well, you can come outside now and look at the deer and turkeys. I didn't like it. I do now, but I didn't like it. I didn't like it then. So my dad's side of the family, they're Baptists. So when I came here, I didn't know anybody other than my dad's side of the family, and I started going to a Baptist church, and it was okay. But something in my heart was telling me this doesn't feel good. I need more. Where are you? I cannot find you. So for a few months, I went to the Baptist church with my grandmother. I'm not going to say that when I was in the Dominican, I went to church every Sunday, because I didn't. My parents didn't go to church, but because I grew in a Catholic school, I was able to go to church when they have school events. I went to the youth retreats, and once in a while, I would have that need to go to church, and I would go by myself. So when I came here, I wanted to look for more. I wanted to go more to church. So I went to Baptist, and I went to Pentecostal, and I was like, no, this is not it. So after a few months, I met Ricardo. He's now my husband. We have 6 children together. But when I met him, he did know about the church, and we started going to the Catholic church in Hendersonville, because it was closer to where I was living in Green Creek. That's where my dad is from. That's why I'm a country girl. So I started going to the church there, and I started feeling this happiness. Like, this is really what I want to do. I do want to go to church more often. I want to really get to know God. I don't want to get just information. I have already all the information that I need. I want to meet this guy that I learned from for years. Because to me, God was somebody that, oh yeah, well, I know Deacon. I've seen where he lives. I know the things that he does, but I haven't got close to him and talked to him. So I wanted to have that relationship with God, of that God that they told me was so great, that was so lovable, that was so wonderful, that has so much mercy. And I have all this information that I was ready to just get it to overflow. I wanted to hold him. I wanted to hug him. I wanted to, if you're there, where are you? So I started going more often to church, and I started going to retreats. And I remember one retreat in particular that I went into Hendersonville, that I got this strange feeling like he was telling me, I'm here. I've always been here. You just don't pay attention. I'm everywhere. I've been there when you were there in the Dominican. I was there when you didn't want to come here to the United States. I've been there your whole life. I'm right here. So at that time I was like, that is true. I've been healthy. I've always had a family. My family is not even Catholic, and I grew up being Catholic. My family, I've come from a really large family, and they don't even go to church. Why do I want to go to church? So I felt like somehow God throughout my life was pushing me, like, this is where I want you to go, and I'm here. I'm ready for you to be with me. I want you to feel that I do love you. So years went by. I started liking being here in the United States, spending more time with family, getting a little used to the culture. I started going to college. In 2005, my dad passed away of a heart attack. And we weren't expecting that. It was my sister's graduation. And I was just shocked. We were not even thinking. I mean, he wasn't really healthy, but he wasn't really sick for that to happen. And before I go to that, I did my confirmation a few years before that. And when I did my confirmation, I felt like I was telling God, you know what? I do want to follow you, but I don't know how. But I think this is going to be my first step. So after my confirmation, I started getting more involved with the church and learning more how to pray and talk to God, because I feel like throughout my life I've been praying, but I've been scared to really express what I feel and really say the things that I wanted to say. So when my dad passed away in 2005, I remember everything went chaos. And we were in the funeral home, and I have no idea what I'm doing, and they're asking questions, and the guy in the funeral home said if I wanted to choose something to put in the car that they do for the funeral home, and I said, I don't know. So he started looking for stuff, and he shows me a little book. And he said, well, you can put like a little verse, or you can use this psalm. And it was Psalm 23. At that moment, I felt like God said, I told you that I'm here. I told you that I'm always with you. When you're happy, when you're sad, no matter how you're feeling, I'm always with you. So when we were doing the visitation, I was feeling devastated. My mom was there. We really didn't know what was going on. We're in a strange country for us. We didn't have our whole family with us, so we were feeling sad for the situation, for what was happening. So I remember I put my head down and I was saying, please God help me, because I'm sad. I don't know what to do, and I don't know how to help my family. I'm the oldest sister of 4 siblings. So I remember I put my head down, and once I put my head up, I don't remember counting how many people, but I'd say at least between 50 and 75 people from the community that came to visit. And at the time that I put my head up, I realized that God told me, you're not alone. Maybe you cannot see me. Maybe you think that you need to see me in order to believe in me. But when I saw those people coming into the funeral place, I looked up and I said, no, I'm not alone. No matter what happens in my life, I'm not alone. No matter, even if I don't want to see him, I'm not alone. No matter if sometimes I don't want to believe it, I'm not alone. So that first time was when I started realizing, listen, Jessica, you don't have to believe it. You don't have to be always happy with me. I'm not always going to do the things that you want me to do, but I am here. So when I saw the people from the community, that meant a lot to me. To see that God is telling me, I am in your neighbor. I am in your family. I am in your children. So even though I had several sad moments in my life, I have great moments in my life. Like I said, I have Nathan, he's one of my kids. I have 6 of them. And it has been wonderful. And sometimes I have had difficulties in my pregnancies. And God is telling me it's going to be fine. Everything is going to be fine. After my dad passed away, I got pregnant with Nathan. And I'll never forget that they say that he was not going to make it. I was about 7 weeks pregnant, and they say that I don't know, you may not know a lot about pregnancy, but there's a sac that you have in your uterus where the baby forms, but they say that sac was empty. And I said, well, how could it be empty? I thought I was pregnant. So they told me that I needed to have a D&C. A D&C means to take everything out so that you don't get an infection and you don't get really sick. And because I'm not pregnant, because the pregnancy is not viable and everything is not okay. So I made a decision to wait for 2 weeks because I was scared. So I went back to the office. They were going to do an ultrasound, and I was getting ready to have a D&C. A D&C basically is kind of like an abortion, but you're not doing it because you want to, but I consider that it's medical necessary so that I don't hurt myself. So I went in there and I had the ultrasound. And the lady that was there was a different lady that I got 2 weeks before. And she said, well, why are you here? And I said, because I'm having a D&C. And she kept doing and looking, and she came back and she said, what is your name? And I told her, I said, well, my name is Jessica Flores. And she went back, and I can tell she was nervous looking at the record and stuff. And I thought, well, maybe something is really bad with me. Maybe I waited too long. Maybe I'm going to die now. So I was thinking all the bad things. And she came back and she said, ma'am, I am so sorry. I don't know what's going on, but there is a baby in there. And he has a heartbeat. And the doctor, I heard him talking in the background, and he said, that's impossible. Her blood work wasn't okay. Her oval, everything in her uterus was not okay. And I heard him outside the office. So he came back in, and he did the ultrasound. And he said, I don't know, I've been doing this for 25 years, and I've never seen nothing like it. And I said, well, is he okay? And he said, well, I don't know if he's okay, but he's alive. And he's alive. He's 14. And he's saying, no. So I always tell him that he's my hard-headed, because he actually, that's his behavior. He's always hiding from me. He's always going, he always likes to be wandering around, and we're always looking for Nathan. So, but he's here, and I consider him a miracle, just like I consider my 6 children a miracle. And with my children, I feel the love of God. I've been married for, it's going to be 19 years next month, and we have had our up and downs. But I have that feeling that God is always with me. There has been several times that I'm during Mass and I'm feeling disappointed, or I'm feeling sad, or sometimes I'm even feeling happy and excited. And these Psalms come to me, Psalm 23. And I would like for you to maybe get that opportunity to choose one. It doesn't have to be Psalm 23, but one Psalm. And if you pay attention throughout your life, you're going to see that God is always with you. He's always keeping you company. I have moments that I've been really happy, and I can sense His presence. I can sense His presence when I see my little ones laughing or having fun. I can sense His presence. I always, with Father, a lot of times I have to be honest. I don't want to go. But somehow I feel like what I do as an interpreter is a God's way of telling me, yes, you're going. I need you there. I love you. And a lot of times through the homily, through what Father, the message is given, I go like, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry that I didn't want to go. And I tell him, thank you for being patient with me. Thank you, because all the times I've not been ready to receive His love. I haven't been ready to get His love all the time that He's given me. But I feel like the love of God in my life has been through the community, through the families, through the happiness, through the sadness, through the things that you even have no explanation. This morning, my kids had soccer games, and it's raining. And no, you cannot go because it's really cold, because it's raining, you're going to get sick. And they kept saying, well, I want to go. I want to go. And somehow I felt like that was giving me a message of, you don't do the things just when you feel like it. You don't do the things you don't love God just when you feel like it. You don't love God just when it's easy. You don't love God just when you feel like you can do it. The love of God is with us always. No, it doesn't matter if there's a thunderstorm. It doesn't matter if you acknowledge His presence. He's always there. So, with all the time that I have spent in church now, I realize that I do love God. I do want to be with Him. I do want for Him to realize, I know I make a lot of mistakes and I'm sorry, but I do love you. And I appreciate all the times that you're here with me. So it would be really nice for all of you to just think. A lot of times you can think from when you were little, that time that you feel love, some kind of attention from a friend, some kind of help from somebody, your family. Sometimes just being alone is being with God. I was driving over here and I was praying, please God, help me. And He does. He does. And sometimes you don't even ask for help, and He's been there in my life. I have no idea why in the world He chose me to do this. And when I started praying, I said, that's exactly the answer that He gave me. I chose you because I love you. Thank you.
Good job, Jessica. You've converted me.